orange rose, microchips us, iPhone cameras us, taco salads us, Obama us, Olive Garden us, White Phosphor us, Sabra Hamas, Hasbara sus.
Hello and welcome to Bad Hasbara, the world's most moral podcast. My name is Matt Lieb, and I will be your world's most moral host for this evening, morning, whenever you're listening to this, whenever I'm putting this out. I don't know, later today. Thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. A reminder, first and foremost, no, you're not crazy. Your eyes are telling you the truth. When you see death and destruction and you're against it, you're normal. So go ahead and pat yourself on the back. You're a normal person. God bless you for being regular. It's a low bar, but you know what? It's a bar that surprisingly few people, at least public people, seem to be able to reach. 5 stars in a review. Please review it on all of the podcast stores that exist. Spotify, you can go in there, leave a comment, do that. I like it. I read them, I go through them, and I see what people are saying. There's a few of them that I really loved. There was one or two that I didn't like so much. One of them was someone who was legitimately offended that I could not pronounce Tig Hickey's name and said, you should have learned it before the show. And I was like, I wanted to, but the bit was funnier. So that's me responding to. But don't write anything bad. Write good. I'll respond to good too. Also, patreon.com/badhasbara. Please support this podcast, support the show. We have a producer now, Adam Levin, who's doing a great job. He's, basically the man behind the madness at this point, because my life is insane and I need someone to tell me where to go and where to be. So please help pay his salary. And also, it helps the podcast keep going. It makes it worth it. Also, I want to give a big shout out this week to subreddit mod JP Ben. So Bad Hasbara now has a subreddit. I've been talking about it a few times. I checked in on it yesterday and it was at like 1,700 subscribers or something, which is that's insane to me, because I didn't think that people would like it so much. And then I looked in at the mod mail to see what's going on there. The mods are exclusively fighting Zionists. JP Ben was out there alone. At first, just crazy person after crazy person yelling at him, calling him all sorts of names. And he just handled it like a pro. And then the subreddit built up so much that he was able to put a few more mods on there. And I just want to say shout out to all the mods over at the subreddit. Really cool. You guys are the real heroes, outside of, the troops. I'm just kidding. But yeah, thank you so much for doing that. You guys rule. I love you. You're awesome. Okay. Today we have a great guest, a fantastic guest, a returning Bad Hasbara champion. You may have seen this guest on this very podcast. You may have seen this guest talking about The Wire with me the other day. You may read this guest's journalism on Electronic Intifada. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, welcome back, Nora Barrows-Friedman.
Thank you, returning guest. Yes. I feel so honored. Thank you so much.
Listen, you should feel honored. You shouldn't at all feel like it was a choice that I made because I was oh, fuck, I need somebody. No, it wasn't, though. It wasn't. I'll say it actually was. You have been one of the most requested guests in terms of repeat guests.
Oh,
people, they loved your episode. They loved you talking about The Wire. I think people just love you, Nora.
That is great. And I am I'm blushing because usually I just get lots of hate mail and threats. So it's really nice to know that
that's
in this
be
little
new.
subsection, I am beloved. So thank you for that.
In a small but growing corner of the internet, there are people out there who are like, who's cool and funny and rad? Nora Barrows-Friedman. They love you. And I love you. You're one of my favorite people.
I love you. You're one of my favorites.
Let's hug.
Let's hug.
Everything sucks.
Everything's the worst. It's the worst it's ever been.
Yeah. I mean, it's like every time in the back of my mind, right? So doing this podcast, one of the things that I look forward to is the day when I don't have to do this podcast anymore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't actually fit into my life in any way that's good or helpful. I love doing it. In that I like talking to people and telling them my opinions about shit and just doing dick jokes with my friends.
Yeah, it's the best.
But I don't want the death and destruction to continue, and I don't want the state of Israel to continue.
Yeah.
I don't, at least not in its current state. If we're being wishy-washy,
it was a bad idea from the start.
Oh, it was a terrible idea. I think that much is clear if you're a regular person. But so in the back of my mind, though, there's like these moments, and I think it's just maybe it was just my brain, but there'll be this thing where I'll go, I might not actually have to do the podcast next week because Palestine might be free next week.
That's what we want.
Like I think whenever someone says something about peace talks that are happening, it's like, I mean, I'm cynical, so I know, like, rationally it's all bullshit, but there's that hope deep inside. And this week, no different. I woke up a couple days ago after, I had a lot of fun. My wife and I went to Sacramento. We did the Sacramento Punchline. Thank you to everyone who listens, who came out to that. That was really fucking rad.
I hope everyone came out to that because, wow, you were promoting that like every single day.
Everyone, you know months. What? I think I've gotten, there were less ticket sales than there were messages from people going, thank God it's almost over. This fucking mid-roll ad is killing me. Listen, I don't do that many headline sets, bro.
No, I'm very proud of you and Franny for doing that. I wish I could have been there. But
I wish you could have been there. It was a lot of fun. And I was in a good mood. And then I woke up the next day and I started seeing what was going on over at the Al-Shifa Hospital. And it is just like, if ever there comes a point where you dip in and out a little bit of, because it's such sad coverage, like dipping out of the coverage for mental health's sake, I understand completely. It's just something human and normal to be overwhelmed and traumatized by it. But I'll say every time there's a dip back in, like, all right, what's in the news? It's just more and more. It just looks like a Holocaust. More and more, it just looks like the genocide, like the classic genocide that every single Zionist gatekeeps,
Mm-hmm.
like an indisputable crime against humanity.
Absolutely.
And this one was just like, it was so many things in one. And you wrote this great article yesterday for Electronic Intifada, and I just wanted to like ask you about it because it's something that you've obviously been covering, and it's all very new, so I'm not I'm not certain what the facts are on the ground, and I think our listeners would be interested to know what's happening here.
So where to start? Yeah.
So where to begin? So if we're gonna start, I would say we would start first with your article, the way your article starts, and I'm gonna share my screen so people can see it, so that way But obviously, You can also just listen to the podcast. That's better for me. So yeah, Israel besieges, storms Al-Shifa Hospital. Now, my first question for you here is, this is one of many hospitals that I think, for the regular, like, I don't know, I would consider the regular dumbass like me, who is someone who follows this news but is not but is a dumbass. This hospital is something we keep hearing about. It's been under attack. There have been multiple instances of attack, right? Yeah. Like how many? It says in your article, it starts off, Israeli soldiers invaded and besieged the Al-Shifa hospital in Gaza City at dawn on Monday. It was the fourth time that the largest medical facility in the Gaza Strip was attacked since October.
Yeah.
And you say that according to the Palestinian Health Ministry in Gaza, Israeli forces bombed the specialized surgeries building, setting it ablaze. And you included this picture right here from a Twitter user named Nicola Perugini. And so, can you just like go into this a little bit? Like, first of all, what is the military use of bombing the specialized surgery unit? Why they do that, Nora?
Well, for normal people who believe that hospitals should be sanctuaries of health and recovery and safety and security and care and love. Obviously, this is horrifying.
Right.
And this is, like I reported, this is the fourth time since the beginning of this that Israeli forces have attacked and bombed Al-Shifa Hospital. It is the largest medical facility in the Gaza Strip. It's in Gaza City, which is, kind of the center of Gaza.
Right.
And it's not just one hospital building. It's like a compound where there are several different wards and like administrative offices, and then specialty clinics, like surgeries. They have, like there's a maternity ward. All the things that hospitals need to function as a hospital.
Things hospitals do. Doctor stuff.
Since the beginning of this current genocidal campaign, Israel has bombed the hospital and its adjacent buildings 4 times now. And, in the first few incidents, as they did now, again, not only do they bomb it using, tanks and airstrikes, but then they have like special forces, Israeli special forces, swarming in, holding people at gunpoint, ordering staff, physicians, patients, immobile, people in hospital beds.
Right. Yeah.
And thousands of displaced people who have, been like forced out of their homes from elsewhere in the Gaza Strip and have been taking refuge in the hospital compound. They've just been like completely attacking them. And
they're doing it, they always claim the same thing. And I believe that you mentioned this in your article about, Daniel Hagari,
we'll see him in The Hague at some point.
Yeah. Famous pre-Hague man.
Enjoy it while it lasts, Daniel.
Enjoy it while it lasts, Danny. You've seen him, standing there awkwardly. He's the guy who does like the press conferences in English.
Right. And there's a reason why they're in English, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, I love a good English language press conference because it's if you... it's a good way to learn Hebrew, actually. You watch the English language press conference, and then you will know, and then once you watch the Hebrew one, you will know what all the opposite words that he just said in English mean in Hebrew.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So
they go in there, they swarm the buildings, they hold people at gunpoint. There are armed quadcopters that also accompany these units, which is incredibly dystopian, but now it's just become normalized. I mean, these armed drones essentially are like hovering around medical facilities, residential towers, places that people have gathered, and shooting people. I mean, it's just incredible dystopian insanity. And then they say that they're conducting a military operation to root out Hamas terrorists. This very I mean, the accusations obviously are that like everyone in Gaza is potentially Hamas, that Hamas is like some sort of like, monstrous boogeyman that is living in high-tech, condominiums underneath hospitals. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so that was essentially the same, like, lazy justification that they gave for this latest attack on Al-Shifa. But what the real intention is, and Shifa Hospital is not the first or only hospital to be bombed and destroyed. They have basically destroyed or permanently closed, because there's no services anymore. All of the 36 hospitals around Gaza. And
insane.
Completely. I mean, we saw back in October, it was like October, 17th, 18th, when Israel bombed the Al-Ahli Baptist Hospital. And that's
the one in which there was a bunch of spin on
they were
who
like, no,
did
it was an Islamic Jihad rocket that that fell. I mean, you look at the forensic evidence, it's like, that is not made by a rocket. That was a 2,000-ton bomb. That was only that only Israel has. And once they got away with bombing the Al-Ahli hospital, we then saw all of the other hospitals being bombed, and then Israel bragging about it. They're not even trying to hide it anymore.
They stopped arguing about that. Completely. I think it wasn't just like once the evidence started piling up that it was clear they did it. It was once they were like, guys, we're going to have to bomb a few more hospitals. So let's just
bomb all of them.
Let's just bomb all the hospitals, and then we'll just say we have to. Without ever once correcting the record. In fact, I think Eylon Levy the other day doubled down again. He was like, not this crap again. As everyone knows, we didn't do it. So they're still holding on to the lies while continually bombing other hospitals.
But what's the intention? I mean, the intention is to sow fear. And incapacitate the heroic efforts of paramedics, doctors, nurses, hospital staff, technicians, clinicians, administrators of hospitals from doing their work. And so, like, the cruelty is the point, but that's putting it mildly. It's
that's when Donald Trump calls you a dick suck or something. It's like, man, cruelty is the point. It's like, this is
like genocide is
the point.
They want full extermination of people in Gaza. I mean, Gaza has become a death camp. That's literally what it is. It's a large graveyard. It's a death camp, and they're just nobody's stopping them. And that's it's, I don't know. I ran out of words in like October. I still don't have words.
And I guess for me, it's like, I just don't see there's no rational conclusion to reach here, because like, other than what is actually happening here with this is they are trying not just to, like, it's not solely about the murder of people, but it's about the collective punishment, displacement, and cruel vengeance
Yeah.
that they are, enacting upon a population of 2.3 million people. The clear war crimes that are going on here seem so indisputable, especially when, you pointed out Daniel Hagari claimed that the soldiers, quote, found weapons and money inside the medical complex during the invasion, which is something that, like, the idea that you would add money in there, I think is
Yeah.
it's just one of those things
Yeah.
where it just becomes very clear that they're throwing in things like he could have left it at weapons and let all of the Hasbaras do their job. The money thing seems to almost be another way to either find some sort of like, well, we have some legal loophole in which you can bomb any building in which there's war money stored or something.
Right.
It's so clear that it's either that or just that it's, we stole a bunch of money and we probably should account for it by saying we did. That we
they've
found
been
it.
doing that, right? Like
Yes.
Israeli soldiers have been filming themselves on TikTok and Instagram,
Yes.
looting through people's houses.
Yes. Robbing,
Taking money
mocking.
and laughing about it,
Yes.
taking, women's lingerie and
Yes.
and it just they're so depraved and
Yes.
psychotic.
Yes.
And yeah.
And you look at it too, when I saw the money thing, for me, it just brought up this this undeniable Nazi parallel where you're just like, a huge part of the Holocaust wasn't just the murder and, displacement of Jews.
Yeah.
It was also the robbing of them.
Yes.
It was also robbing them of everything from, their works of art that they had been collecting to the gold in their teeth.
Yes.
And it just reminds me so much of that I'm starting to think like, damn, that's pretty anti-Semitic of me to bring that up. You know what I mean? Like,
how dare you?
How dare I?
You should sign that letter by the Hollywood so-called creatives against
we'll
Jonathan
get
Glazer.
there, Nora.
Can't wait.
Can't wait to the happy news. To continue in your article, you point out one of, like I said, it's just like a grab bag of war crimes going on.
Yeah.
with
Take your
this.
pick. Yeah.
It's like, this is the mystery box. It's like, it could be any war crime you could think of. It's probably in here. And one of them was the abducting of journalists.
Yeah.
That they were, journalists who were documenting this very thing. And all, I believe, under the explanation of like, oh, well, we need to do a blackout of information going on here, which is a weird thing to admit.
I mean, they can just get away with anything, right?
Yeah.
Like, so they'll just do it. So yeah, actually yesterday when I was writing that story, we also include illustrations for like the main image that you see at the top of the article.
Yeah.
And I was trying to find photos of the attack on Al Shifa from every news agency I could find.
Right.
And I couldn't find any. And so I had to go with one that was related, of like airstrikes that happened in this kind of similar neighborhood on the same day. And then I realized it was like, oh, because they arrested, tortured, and detained all the journalists that were in the area and inside the hospital itself.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, that's one of their tactics. And not only did they take all the journalists in and around Shifa, but they severely beat them. They blindfolded them. They stripped them naked. They destroyed all of their journalism equipment, broadcasting equipment, cameras, microphones, I'm assuming other, wire, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Plus the vehicles that have like the satellite things on them to broadcast.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them was this Al Jazeera Arabic reporter, Ismail Al Ghul, who was detained for 12 hours. He told Al Jazeera that he was beaten and stripped and blindfolded and interrogated and then threatened. They all were. You know, if they moved even an inch, the Israeli soldiers detaining them would start firing their guns in the air in order to scare them. And some of the journalists are still being held somewhere. Nobody knows. I mean, again, like Israel has done this for the last 5 months. The last 75 years.
Right.
But especially, you know, when we talk about the last 5.5 months, they have been disappearing people, and not just random people, but the physicians. The head of Al Shifa Hospital itself has been in some dungeon somewhere, you know, since I believe December. No one knows where he is. There have been reports from people who were detained with him that somehow were released, saying that, you know, the Israeli soldiers have been torturing these doctors, including the head of Al Shifa Hospital, and like putting him on a leash and making him crawl around on the floor and eat food from a plate like a dog. I mean, just the most Nazi shit that you can imagine. And you know, and then they do the same to journalists. They do the same to hospital staff. They do the same to, you know, janitors and teachers and professors who haven't been, you know, assassinated. I mean, it's just like, there's no bottom. There's no bottom.
Yeah.
And the war crimes are piling up, and Biden doesn't seem to care.
Yeah. Really seems to, at this point, I feel like he just is like, I just want to go to sleep. I can't wait to not be president anymore.
He should just be in like a nursing facility and live out his days in some garden and not like co-authoring a fucking genocide halfway around the world.
Yeah, he could just imagine having the money that Joe fucking Biden has and being like, I've lived all this life, but I haven't done a genocide yet.
Yeah. Now's my chance.
Now's my chance. Fucking psychopath.
Just disgusting.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, this is just, again, you know, you just see, you know, various crimes happening all from this enormous bombardment and siege. And, you know, it includes the killing of a, quote, Hamas policeman.
Right.
Who is someone that apparently is someone who actually has been helping coordinate aid.
Yes.
And keeping the aid safe inside of Gaza. Yep. And, you know, so it's just very clear what they're doing here. And it's just, you know, it's almost like that is a microcosm of a bigger mission, which is that no one in Gaza, no Palestinian shall rise up to prominence, who is not, chosen by
a collaborator. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. No, and since that article was published, 3 more police members, in Gaza have been assassinated. So 4 now in total over the last 72 hours, and all 4 of them were involved in coordinating humanitarian aid deliveries from Israeli checkpoints to the UN facilities. So what they're doing also is that they're punishing Palestinians for safe and secure, successful aid distribution.
Yes,
because they want Palestinians to just shut up and starve. I mean, that's essentially it.
It's just so clear. It's just so obvious. They haven't given anyone any reason to suspect otherwise.
Right.
And they're not even trying at this point.
No.
The best that they can hope for is people won't care. And I almost feel like that's what the tactic is here.
Yeah.
Is like, well, if we do enough horrendous stuff for long enough, you eventually numb out to it. And, it's probably a good plan, in terms of like they can have their cake and eat it too, or kill it too, because they're like, certainly people will grow tired of us being the worst in the world.
Right.
And, unfortunately, the people who are going to continue suffering is the Palestinians. And no one seems to give a shit. Except for like human beings of conscience who are like talking about it. And
except for normal people.
Regular guys.
Regular people. Regular guys.
Regular fucking people are the only ones who give a shit. And then the rest, the rest are fucking cowards.
Yeah. Freaks.
Freaks.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was looking, once I saw this information, I was like, I'm interested to see what the spin is on this one, because like this is like, how do you even fucking begin to spin this? I know you can do the regular shit. Yeah. We found guns and money.
Guns and money, right?
Yeah.
Amazing work.
Like we found a baby with a Hitler tattoo. So.
Yeah, exactly. A copy of Mein Kampf, like
yes, exactly,
perfectly preserved in a bombed out room.
Exactly, and in Hebrew for some reason. But I was looking for, so I was like, I'm going to go to my go-to guy, the fucking spin master himself, the Hasbarista with the leasta, Eylon Levy. That was off top, by the way.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Well done.
And I didn't see anything. And instead I found some news about him and that he has been suspended.
Oh no.
He's been suspended by, I assume, the office of the prime minister, for which he worked for as the English spokesperson for Israel, as some people.
Yep.
And I felt like a mixture of feelings, like on the one sense I was just like, hell yeah, fuck him. On the other sense I was just like so sad because
no, you don't get the content.
I know, he was so young.
Don't worry, he'll like probably get a staff position in
he's
Biden's
100% going to be either reinstated in the next 24 hours or he's going to do the exact same job for a different branch of the Israeli government. He will,
like John Fetterman's campaign or something.
For sure. But because I felt like I just feel like we needed a moment to I don't know, to just remember the good times with him. And by the way, Daniel Mate, who couldn't be here today, said I should call this episode When the Levee Breaks.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
But here is just a little bit of an in memoriam to our favorite guy. Here you go. Suck my dick. Suck on my own fucking dick. And then eat my butt. Suck my dick. Won't you please suck on my nuts and eat my dick. Eat my dick. Whatever you can eat my cum. And then eat my cum. I will eat your butt. Pour one out.
Wow. I wish I had a lighter. Just be like, oh, Levy.
That's for all the Imogen Heap heads out there who love that song Hide and Seek, or for the people who watch
so
the OC.
Emotional.
Yeah.
Wow.
When he sung "Suck My Dick," I felt that. So
you speak for all of us, Matt.
Yes, I speak for the voiceless, the voiceless many who want Eylon Levy to eat an ass till he dies. But yeah, so R.I.P. to the real one. I want to get into the topic of journalism, specifically a new genre of journalism that has come out recently. It's an exciting new genre of
Oh,
journalism
boy.
because it's something that I feel like I haven't seen before. But I've seen more content in it in the last 2 weeks than anything else. And that is the genre of going on a news website and writing an op-ed that says something like, well, I don't agree with Jonathan Glazer. Well, I didn't like that. That's
How dare he?
how dare he do speech.
Yeah.
It is like, it's just been like ever since Jonathan Glazer made his Oscar acceptance speech. And for those of you to recap, Jonathan Glazer, he is a director who won Best Foreign Film at the Oscars for a movie called Zone of Interest,
Which is
was
incredible.
an incredible movie about the banality of evil. It's about people living next to Auschwitz in a beautiful villa, just living their godforsaken lives. And doing the bureaucratic work of mass murder, which is an incredibly poignant point, especially considering the instead of it being a Holocaust movie that puts the actual atrocities in your face, like a Schindler's List or The Pianist, or many movies. This one is just hints in the background, and you see that the message there being clear about the way in which Nazis were not just pure rage-filled monster ideological ghouls, but also civil servants of a Holocaust, which I think is almost more scary, because it means that any one of us could be put in this position, and
That's
what
the whole
would
point of the movie, right?
right?
Yeah.
Whole point of the movie.
Yeah.
So
it was spectacular. Just I just watched it a couple nights ago. And it's one of the most haunting films I've ever seen, and it was done so well, telling kind of like constructing these characters, these genocidal freaks, these Nazis who were administering Auschwitz.
Yeah.
Kind of taking out the cartoonishness that we've seen in decades of Hollywood movies. They were, the guy's wife really likes gardening, and he took his kids on kayaking trips down the river, and they were, they had marital problems, and throughout the whole film is this droning kind of almost indiscernible noise.
The creepiest thing.
I'm getting goosebumps just remembering it, of the sound of extermination. And it was done so brilliantly, and what it was intended for was to hold a mirror up, like you were saying, to everyone, to say that we are all capable of this 100%. And we have to stop it. And that's what Jonathan Glazer was trying to communicate in his film and in his speech.
That's 100% right. And once he gave that speech, I saw the machine working, the Hasbara machine rapidly brainstorming, throwing everything against the wall to see what sticks. He kind of worded it clunkily. He refutes his Jewishness. Well, Nazi
Thanks,
much?
Batya, yeah.
Yeah, Batya's dumbass, and also John Podhoretz and all these all these ghouls, trying to make that stick and it not sticking. I think Meghan McCain tried it too, which always lovely. I always love Meghan McCain.
So smart.
Meghan McCain is just so overly familiar when it comes to Jews that she has no problem telling any Jew in the world that they're anti-Semitic. She believes she is. You know what she's like? She's like that image of Khaleesi being held
up by
the except for it would take a lot of people. I'm sorry. I had to do it, bro. But yeah, listen, she's a big lady. But what? Listen, more to
full of worms.
Yeah, more to hate, filled with worms. Yeah.
She's like that. Sorry, she's like that.
She's like her dad, also
Oogie
filled with
Boogie
worms.
Man in
Oh yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes, she is.
She's like rips her skin open and she's just like maggots, just
right,
like falling out. Yeah.
Right. Except Oogie Boogie Man had talent. Let's be real.
He could sing.
He could sing, and he made it on his own.
He did.
He didn't come from a nepo worm guy family.
No.
He didn't have a war hero worm dad. Anyways, so everyone they were trying all sorts of stuff, and then like I started seeing the articles coming out where they're like, well, how do we fight a bad Jew with a voice? Oh, let's find a good Jew with a voice, right?
Yeah.
And so first it was a guest column from this is the Hollywood Reporter. I produced an Oscar-winning Holocaust film, and here's why Jonathan Glazer's speech was so offensive. Like, I love starting
incredibly arrogant. Yeah, just the whiniest bullshit.
Hey, I also did.
Film. It didn't get nominated for an Oscar. Oh, well, I guess it did, but still.
No, I love it. But yeah, you produced. Let's be real. You produced. What did you do?
So you put up the cash.
Yeah, you put up the cash, or fucking not even. Who the fuck knows what you did? Exactly. This guy directed it, and you know what else he directed? Virtual Insanity, Jamiroquai.
That's cool right. Shit. Yeah, I heard that on the other episode of Bad Hasbara.
And hey,
I learned something.
Yeah, listen. He was right. The future is made of virtual insanity.
That's right. We're watching it right now.
Exactly. Then NBC News. Zone of Interest producer refutes Jonathan Glazer's Oscar speech. Fundamentally disagree.
I fundamentally disagree.
Yeah, which is, I'm sorry, but like that is, they had to really.
These people didn't watch the fucking film. They didn't watch it.
That person, like, being a producer on the film, it was clear that they were like, say something.
Yeah.
Say something. Which only made me respect Jonathan Glazer more. The fact that he's like, the two people behind him are like, wait, what?
Yeah, one of them was like the billionaire, very ultra right-wing Zionist producer, right?
That was the best.
Good job.
Oh, good job. Honestly. And then, one of my favorites was this one, Jonathan Glazer's Oscar speech, condemned by Son of Saul director. Quote, he should have stayed silent. Good quote.
Courageous. Yeah, nice.
Very courageous shit.
Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
We want to do a genocide.
Yeah. You know what they say? Silence is helping. Mm-hmm. Or something. Yeah, I think it's silence is violins, which are good. It's something like that. It rhymes. Silence is violin. I don't know. But my absolute favorite was an article that came out, I think maybe today or last night. I read it this morning because it's my favorite because it is not just your average I think it's also a movie review written by someone who doesn't understand movies.
Awesome.
So this is from CNN, and I'm gonna share it with everyone here. CNN opinion, and the opinions expressed in this are not necessarily those of the blah blah blah. Let me see if I can make this look good on the fucking thing. Oh, there we go. Okay. So it's opinion. Zone of Interest. A Holocaust movie without Jews.
Oh, so that's the angle they're going for now.
Mm-hmm. Which is like it's an insane angle for like multiple reasons. One of them because it's like it's choosing to not understand
very
movies.
intently. Yeah. With clear intention.
Yes.
And it's about fucking Auschwitz.
It's so clearly an artistic choice that it ended up making it more potent.
Yeah.
And they're just like, what happened to the Jews, huh? It's like,
unbelievable.
So, this is by, let's see, what's his name? Peter Rutland. I don't know Peter Rutland. Director Jonathan Glazer's acclaimed movie, The Zone of Interest, recently won 2 Oscars for Best International Feature Film and for Sound. Steven Spielberg has declared to be the best Holocaust film since his own Schindler's List came out in 1993. In his Oscar acceptance speech, Glazer, who himself is Jewish, invoked the Holocaust to criticize Israel's military actions in Gaza. His speech drew some praise, but also some criticism from the Jewish community, including from one of the movie's executive producers, Danny Cohen. But in some important respects, the film is even more troubling than Glazer's speech.
My God.
He goes on to talk about how much he doesn't understand movie. The film documents the mundane life of the family of Auschwitz Commandant Rudolf Höss and his wife Hedwig. While the atrocities themselves are kept out of sight behind the concentration camp wall. It was inspired by the 2014 novel of the same name. And what the satiric movie Saltburn does for the English upper class.
Was it satiric? I don't know. Saltburn was...
Yeah, it's kind of hard to it's hard
whatever.
to nail down the genre of Saltburn, but okay. But you say what the satiric movie Saltburn does for the English upper class, Zone of Interest is doing for National Socialism.
What the
fuck? Fucking it in its grave? Like, that's... If you've seen Saltburn, at one point, he fucks a grave. It's pretty great.
Oh, my God.
Comparing this to Saltburn is just... It's such a funny misunderstanding of what this movie is. Well, the evil of Nazism is an abstraction in the movie. Is it?
Yeah, that's also not the point. He didn't see it.
I don't think he saw it.
Or he saw it while he was like incredibly drunk. Or something.
Or something. I mean, he maybe was playing phone games. I don't know.
Yeah.
In the movie, out of sight, out of mind, viewers are invited to identify with the daily life of the family Höss. The lush images of the film convey an idyllic family life with an immaculately clean house and bountiful garden. Yeah,
that's like, the fucking point of the film.
The Nazis loved their children and their pets. They played the piano. Yeah.
So do you. That's the point.
That's the point.
God.
Oh, I love it so much. Glazer has explained that his goal was to show. Did he have to explain?
He did. No, that's the point of the film. That's the explanation.
It's to show that the perpetrators of the Holocaust were not monsters, but humans, just like us. It could have happened anywhere, to anyone, by anyone. Viewers are invited to consider that as we go out about our mundane lives, evil is taking place somewhere behind a wall, which we choose not to look over.
Gaza, hello. How is this not?
I mean, it's just so clear.
Oh my God.
That like his whole point is like he's about to say. But we have to understand is that, like, the Nazis, they didn't play piano. They didn't love their dogs. They're evil monsters from hell.
Cartoonishly evil, right. Exactly.
Yes, whereas we are a fun-loving people. We go swim in the ocean. We go to Tel Aviv, and, we try shrooms and wear capri pants and listen to Infected Mushroom.
And join the Israeli army.
Yeah, but an army of self-defense.
Exactly.
But this whole idea of making a Nazi pastoral film is historically misleading and frankly offensive, right? As Israeli film critic, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Glazer has managed to make a film about the Holocaust in which we never see any Jews. Once again, yes.
That's the point.
My favorite part is eventually... He just starts talking about how also the movie is confusing.
Oh, I didn't gotta. He's talking about This is all stuff he got from Wikipedia, by the way.
Yes, clearly.
He never knew the term banality of evil.
He clearly didn't know it. I think mid-article, he says it. he says it mid-article, and then I think later he looked it up and wrote the rest of the article.
That's exactly, because he heard it from someone else, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He said, because he's talking about how people were, comparing it to, different things, different beliefs. An audience member saw connections to the Don't Say Gay law in Florida. That was in a Q&A after the film. But the Holocaust happened to the Jews and at the hands of Nazis and their collaborators. And its specificity should not be diluted into a general meditation on the banality of evil, which, by the way, a general meditation on the banality of evil, it's very clear from that sentence. He did not quite know where that phrase came from.
No.
And then later, Glazer is echoing elements of the banality of evil argument laid out by Hannah Arendt. But Arendt was wrong.
Oh.
Okay.
She was wrong.
She was wrong. Mr. Big Shot here. Oh, Mr. Smart Guy got opinions.
Courageous steps here.
Yeah. Have you considered I smarter? But Arendt was wrong. This is due to the release of long hidden tapes that started to become available in the 2010s. Turns out that Nazi official, while in exile in Argentina, was in fact a ideological zealot and deeply committed to National Socialism.
How is that contradictory? What?
As opposed to a bureaucrat who was following orders type thing,
because the two can't be the same.
No, the two can't be the same.
The two can't. You can't exist.
Yes, no. You're either an ideological, like bigot monster, or you're a perfectly neutral good guy bureaucrat.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as nuance. But yeah, so
wow, that is a shit article.
I know it is like wild,
really bad.
It's wild. Let's see. So one of my favorite moments, the zone of interest, is a rather tedious as a film. It barely has a plot. And
Jesus Christ.
The conversations and daily routines are repetitious. Yeah. That's
my
God. You can't. At some point in the movie, you had to be like, "Oh, okay, I see what they're doing."
Yeah.
But no, he's pretending like he was mad about it. I agree. He didn't see it.
No, I would not have known.
Several scenes will leave viewers confused. Oh, this is great. Such as the one where Hess finds a jawbone while fishing in the river and drags his kids out of the water. I would not have known what was happening, except I had previously read in a review that there was human remains.
Supposedly.
He
didn't watch it because you can see this giant cloud of ash, like,
yes,
like turning the river into a gray, like toxic sludge.
It is.
He didn't see it. He didn't
so clear that this was someone who was like, listen, I didn't see this movie. I'm not going to fucking pay to see this movie. I read a review of this movie.
Looked at Wikipedia. I asked Siri. Define banality of evil.
Yeah.
Define banality.
Yeah.
He didn't know what that meant.
Yeah. Define banal. Like Pornhub. Define anal. Yeah, so like it's just very clear because there's no fucking way like a regular person who's seen this movie would feel. You have to be really into public humiliation to write that you wouldn't have known what was happening when there is a jawbone found in the river and he's running away with his kids. Like that is it's wonderful.
It's incredible.
The lengths people will go to.
Yeah.
The lengths that people will go to in order to discredit this fucking Oscar speech.
Yeah. Right? And that it says a lot. It says everything about them.
Yes.
I mean,
everything.
What they're really defending. It's so craven.
It's so craven. He's like literally willing to write something that makes him look like the biggest idiot in the world. Like someone who like it makes you think like maybe maybe you should need a license to go to see a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
like
I mean, my second grader could have, I won't let him see the film until he's ready.
Yeah.
But he would have picked up more nuance and meaning from watching that film than
it's
this
very
fucking
clear
guy.
to an adult.
God.
It's very clear, but it's like they're willing to, when it comes to Zionism and protecting Israel and protecting their Zionist racist beliefs, that they have also shrouded in some sort of righteous, packaging.
Yeah.
They need to be right to the point where they're willing to humiliate themselves.
It's amazing.
And I think nothing says that more than very recently, over 1,000 Jewish creatives and professionals have now denounced Jonathan Glazer's Zone of Interest Oscars speech. This was an article that was put in, it's in Variety. It's also it's constantly being updated.
Because they made the petition public.
Yes.
You don't need to be a member of, SAG, AFTRA, anything.
No.
You can just put your name. So this is how they're inflating their numbers and laundering this like completely contrived, so-called controversy. It's so disgusting.
It's so disgusting. And it's just it's just like so fucking clear.
Yeah.
Like what this is about. This isn't about like saying anything of substance.
Yeah.
This is clearly about overwhelming the system, overwhelming the news cycle, where there's going to be, there was one news cycle about like, damn, that was a crazy speech. And then just 2 weeks now, it feels like constant barrage of, I didn't like that speech. I didn't like that speech.
Or like, ooh, my agent's on this list. I better sign it too.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, yeah.
it's almost like it's like a reverse blacklist.
Yeah,
it's like a whitelist.
Yeah.
It's straight up exists in order to intimidate anyone in the entertainment industry into you better fucking sign this if you are a Jew in Hollywood, which is, again, this is like this incredibly anti-Semitic thing too. To force any Jewish person to it's either your job or you either support Israel publicly or it's your fucking job. Like that is an insanely anti-Semitic thing to do. It's completely insane. And it wouldn't be accepted in any other instance for anybody, it's just fucking crazy.
No, it's disgusting. And look, I mean, just the names like
and
Deborah Messing,
Michael
Rappaport.
I gotta say, one of the funniest things about this, someone pointed out to me, said, I don't know whose decision it was to do this in alphabetical order by first name.
First name.
But that is a stupid way of doing it.
We got all the Adams. All of the Adams.
Adam. Amy.
All of the Allens.
Only one Amy. It's,
Is that the Amy?
I mean, it's Amy Greenberg, actor, writer.
Not Amy Schumer?
Oh, no. Interesting. No Amy Schumer.
She's probably signed a list that's like, actually, we have to like use a quadcopter on Jonathan Glazer.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a much crazier list.
Yeah.
Let me, just for fun, let me just see if we got. Let's see how many Friedmans are on there.
Oh no.
Let's see.
No relation.
Adam Friedman, CIA.
I don't know him.
Wait a second. Adam,
do you know him?
Adam. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I was thinking of? I was thinking of the Come Down guy.
Oh.
Adam Friedland. Different guy. Yeah. That would be very funny.
Different guy. Very different guy.
That would be very funny if he signed this list. Oh, shit.
What other Friedmans are there on there? I want to see.
There's. I just. You know what? Oh wait, no. Hold on. There's probably more. I forgot. It's not in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
There's. Let's see. No. There's a Friedson.
No.
Noam Friedlander.
No.
No. Looks like.
Oh wow. Okay, so Adam's the only one.
Adam's the only one. Well, okay. Let's.
Hopefully we're not related.
How about Liebs? Fuck. 6 Liebs. Brian Liebman. Oh, here we go. This is a different guy. That's Liebman Entertainment.
Nice.
Erica Lieberman, Jody Lieberman, Mark Lieber, Sharon Lieblein, and Brian Liebman. And okay. So
good job.
God
The Lieb
damn it.
name is not sullied.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just still in there. So you pointed out that this was like clearly an online petition that like anyone could fill out.
Yeah.
And I think what makes that clear was the way that some people chose to put where they are in the industry, and what they do in the industry. Have you seen Michael Rappaport?
No.
Michael Rappaport. Here we go. He put himself
Actor
as
disruptor.
actor disruptor. I love this.
What does that mean?
Well, you know how like he's
disruptor.
someone who he disrupts, your
For cash, apparently.
yeah, right. He just disrupts your vision of what of him, because you're like, oh shit, I thought you were like an Irish dude from Boston.
I always thought, I
seem
always
like a
thought
racist in
Rappaport
a
was
Celtics
like
jersey.
yeah, exactly. You're Jewish? Oh,
It just like it's just so insane, and it just feels
My God.
like such a clear attack on the entertainment industry, and this attack on Jonathan Glazer. You know what it is? It's an attack on there better not be anyone fucking else.
yeah.
No one else better say shit.
Right.
Because look at all of the writers, directors, actors, agents, managers, producers. Look at all these people who signed this. And you look at these names and you're just like, I don't fucking know these people.
Yeah.
Like, and like a lot of people wouldn't be household names. But at the same time, I'm like, I still feel like this is, even if some of these people are anything in Hollywood, it's like this is a list of mostly assistants or people who are like in entertainment the way I'm in entertainment, which is like, scraping by.
Doing your best.
Doing my best, trying to provide for my family.
Yeah.
And that's not to, denigrate any of their careers, but it's like the list itself is like bullshit. It's like you got, a million people you've never heard of and then Noah Tishby. It's just
Mayim Bialik.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so clearly meant to make any other Jewish anti-Zionists or just Jewish critics of Israel, period.
Yeah.
It's meant to intimidate you. And, it doesn't do a very good job when like the biggest people I see on here are like Tishby and I think Amy Sherman Palladino. I thought she signed it. Hold on. Amy
Sherman.
Amy Sherman Palladino. You know her as the creator of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Oh.
Yeah.
One of my least favorite shows. One of the most anti-Semitic shows in existence.
Yeah. Well, listen. I liked the first season. I remember being like, oh, this is fun. Mostly because I love Tony Shalhoub.
Well, he's great.
No, I'm just gonna look. Let's just make sure. Tony Shalhoub not on the list.
Great.
Tony
I mean,
Shalhoub.
it's also a good list because like I know a lot of people in the business through family connections who are Jewish and anti-Zionist and have been working for decades and know that they can't speak out.
Right.
So the people who are not on that list is also very significant.
Very significant. And I think that is clear just based on the makeup of the list. And I've said this before from the beginning of this whole thing, this concerted attempt by Hasbarists to frame this as something that all the Jews of the world agree on is total and utter horseshit. It is not horseshit. It is something that, in fact, very famously amongst Jews argued about ad nauseum.
Yeah, and we'll be arguing about it after Zionism has collapsed.
After it's long gone and people are trying to be like, that was a really good idea.
Yeah.
The revisionists of the future that we're inventing in our heads. The beautiful, beautiful vision. Yeah, and so like, it's one of the things I was saying was just like I know tons of Jewish people in Hollywood who are reaching out to me, who are just like, hey, good job, by the way, thank you for doing that. I'm not gonna do it. It's not because I'm a pussy, but I just got this job and I really just don't want, and I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm also like, come on, but also I get it. I get it. And I'm also like, come on. Because there are more of us than there are of them.
Yes.
Zionism as this like ideologically like sound like this immovable ideology amongst the diaspora and amongst American Jews is a small, I would say it's not an insignificant percentage, but it is not an overwhelming percentage.
Exactly. Yeah.
It is something that people, they equivocate and they posture. They'll be like, well, I don't believe in this and I do believe in that. But this genocide is like continued on and on. The people that I know who at first were like mad at me, they're not saying shit no more. They're saying fucking nothing.
It's become very clear to people who were maybe on the fence or didn't know that much at the beginning or wanted to believe the lies that they were told in shul when they were 8 years old.
Yes.
Now they're like, holy fuck, this is what Zionism is. This is what this project was all about. Count me out, bro. Yeah.
It's
so
good. It's clear, and I think like there's still obviously some people who are have some pull in Hollywood who are never gonna let this fucking go. They're always gonna support. They'll support Israel no matter what they do. They literally made that clear. But again, this list
we can shame them for it.
Yes, we can shame them for it.
Yeah.
They signed their names to this list. The beautiful thing, this is a public list, and I'll be very interested to see how it gets edited over the next few weeks, months, years. Who knows? But that's that.
Amazing.
Before we go, Nora.
Oh no.
Before we go,
I'm having so much fun, Matt Lieb.
Well, we're gonna have a little bit more fun.
Oh joy! Hooray!
I want to talk about one more subject with you. I recently saw, there's been a lot of, I would call it genocidal hip hop coming out of Israel.
Yeah, for sure.
Like really insane stuff. And what's interesting is with hip hop and that as music goes, it's like music is a beautiful universal thing, and some people take music, like the Brits, for example. They took Chicago trap music, and they said, we're gonna make our own version of this, and they created this like UK grime sound, which is fucking fantastic.
I love it.
It's some of my favorite hip hop music currently, and then sometimes that music is taken by a culture like Israelis.
Oh, you mean stolen?
Yeah, sometimes it delves into stolen and cultural appropriation. And when it comes to Israeli hip hop, it's interesting because it runs the gamut. But recently, it's been very, very genocidal in nature. We played that one song that was like some fucking psychopath being like, "We're gonna kill Dua Lipa and Bella Hadid and stuff." And then there was a new one that came out that I want to play a little bit of, and it's under a grime beat.
יכול להיות שיש לנו תנועה, יש איזה תנועה מתחת לסככה. 2, 3, 2.
אהלן וסהלן יא רזה, ראיתם שינינו פה פאזה. מתחילים לדבר ערבית, השפה עכשווית, אז נעים להכיר.
So
Jesus.
Yes. So just for those listening, I'll tell you the lyrics here. They start off with
Ahlan sahlan means welcome in Arabic.
Oh, I like that. Okay. Welcome to Gaza. You see how we changed changed a phase. We started speaking Arabic. It's a contemporary language. So nice to meet you. Say hello. This is the Air Force. They've come to charge the price. They're not knocking on rooftops anymore. Today, there are no warnings. It rhymes in Hebrew.
Barely, yeah.
We have nothing to wait for launch. IDF is like 10 plagues launch. Givati is in the north, combined with combat engineer forces. Just scrolling through this is difficult. It's the army of God. He doesn't just act cruelly.
He's more of a wooer.
He's more of a wooer. Okay.
And he's wearing a keffiyeh.
Yes. You know, and he also, he's like, he looks, I think, maybe he's an Ethiopian Jew, Beta Israel, and like, he's trap rapping with some other, lily white Israelis.
Yeah. Ooh, I want to hear her. I bet she's amazing.
Yeah. We wanted to dance in nature, but we were slaughtered. So we'll make sure that Gaza turns into a happy amusement park. We'll blow up your lie for free and your house. There's one truth, whether or not you like it. The people of Israel live.
Gross.
Yes. So
it's trash.
It's total trash. Just like, it's trash, and it's fucking like, again, this like thing where they've taken a genre of music that is not so that the oppressor can brag about oppressing, let's say. But
if you're the eternal victim,
yeah,
right, then you get to brag about genocide.
Yes, you need that kind of inversion of the reality in order to do it, because you need to be the eternal victim. You need to frame yourself that way. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. Otherwise, you're just going to look in the mirror one day and just see the Nazi that you are.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me is the there's something about like the kind of right wing pro-genocide Israeli hip-hop that I'm like, this thing about right-wing Zionists, so they just kind of like say the things that
they're honest,
honest.
Yeah.
They just say what they're feeling. But then I started thinking about like, I wonder if like there's any liberal Zionists who have done any songs.
Are they like with an acoustic guitar at like whatever Coachella?
Maybe, but I actually found one.
Oh no!
Sure did.
I'm so sorry.
Found one by some sort of Hollywood writer named Lee Kern.
Oh no! Wait, he makes music?
Well,
I mean, music in quotes.
You're gonna find out. If you wanted to know why I had to push the episode about 10 minutes, it was to finish this. Enjoy.
Heck yeah.
This is also a grime-ish type beat.
I'm a liberal guy, but sometimes kids gotta die. I saw a free parking sign, thought it said free Palestine. British Zionist Jew, born and raised with Western views. Yeah, this is self-defense, so get your neck off of me, boot, please. Ethnic, Israeli, none of your business. This is my land. You can tell by me accent. Me homeland is threatened. I'm from the Mina via West End, and my white skin is reddened because the sun is anti-Semitic. Arabs say gays, make all them ladies them cover their face. It's a disgrace because we love the gay. And if you don't like us, I hope you get AIDS, bitch.
Oh my God.
Arabs are genetically predisposed to hating women. If you don't believe me, you're a fucking twat, you are. And I hope Hamas finds you, yeah? And I hope they corner you on the street and I love all people. You can tell cause I drew a heart with the dreads of me tank. I respect all cultures, but you better be like the West or you're gonna get banked and stripped, lit up, split up, British shit, set up Jewish settlements, pick up TikTok, do a thing, but that ain't me though. Haven't I always been right by your side? Whether you're black, purple, yellow or white, even support the creation of free Palestine, I say. Peacoat, cut it, run it, done it, go. Good or bad, it's hard to tell. Going fast for Israel. BB is bad. Yeah. Wish he was gone so peace could be had. But this is a war. Yeah. So I support him like he was my dad. Or maybe me nan. I love me nan. I am against the occupied land. But I trust the plan. So I'ma defend it as long as I can. These Arabs are racist. It's not a wall, it's a quarantine. Shit is contagious. It's not a genocide, it's a vaccine, it's containment, yeah? Some people think shooting fish in a barrel is courageous. Don't care what the ICJ says.
Well, that's
Matt, that slaps. I'm so sorry. That was so.
Everyone knows.
what do you mean, Matt? That wasn't me. That was Lee Kern.
Lee
dude.
Kern. Lee
That
Kern.
was-
Oh my God. Oh, thank you for that. I needed that.
Oh, yeah.
I hope you can put that out on the Twitters and stuff.
I gotta put that out. It's, yeah, you know, sometimes you just love trap music so much that you have to make a liberal sign as trap. So it's yeah, I'll
so good.
I'll put the full song out, you know, at the end of the episode or something. But yeah, I'll put it out too. Anyways,
It was great. Like, I would listen to that.
it is.
It's
Listen,
so good.
there's a few lines in there that I'm really proud of. Like when he says, "I even support the creation of free Palestine," and he says, "Psych, Pico, cut it, run it, done it, go." Like,
I mean, compare that to like the just like oatmeal, you know, whatever lyrics that one song that you played or like just before.
yeah,
that one,
just like
really like
we're
it was
trying
like
to
porridge.
dance.
Yeah,
and
totally.
So now we have to kill all of you.
Yeah,
Fun.
yeah, amazing. No, it just, I mean, yeah, no, we have to laugh.
We have to.
We have to laugh.
And we have to, you know, use our creative abilities to make the dumbest shit in the world.
We do.
It's so fun because I just was like, this is for this moment and no other moment in the world, you know?
So worth it. So good. Oh, Matt Lieb, you're a treasure.
You're a treasure, Nora. You are. I love having you on. Thank you so much again for coming
Anytime.
back on Bad Hasbara.
My pleasure.
And once again, so everyone should know, where can people find you and find your work?
Go to electronicintifada.net. I'm also on Twitter at NoraBF, as in best friend.
Yeah, she is best friend.
That's right.
She's best friend of Pod.
That's right. Oh,
You're
Thanks.
wonderful.
thanks. You're wonderful.
Yes, thank you everyone for listening once again to Bad Hasbara. Email us badhasbara@gmail.com. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/badhasbara. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. And until next time, from the river to the sea, me like trap music from the UK.
I'm a liberal guy, but sometimes kids gotta die. I saw a free parking sign, thought it said free Palestine. Yeah. But a Zionist Jew, born and raised with Western views, yeah? This is self-defense, so get your neck off of me, boot, please. Ethnic, Israeli, none of your business. You what? This is my land. You can tell by me accent. Yeah. Me homeland is threatened, I'm from the Mina via West End, and my white skin is reddened because the sun is anti-Semitic. Arabs hate gays, make all them ladies them cover their face. It's a disgrace because we love the gays. And if you don't like us, I hope you get AIDS, bitch. I'm a good guy, I'm a good guy, I'm Arabs are genetically predisposed to hating women. If you don't believe me, you're a fucking twat, you are. And I hope your Hamas finds you, yeah? And I hope they corner you on the street and I love all people. You can tell cause I drew a heart with the dreads of me tank. I respect all cultures, but you better be like the West or you're gonna get banked and stripped, lit up, split up, British shit, set up Jewish settlements, pick up TikTok, do a thing. But that ain't me though. Haven't I always been right by your side? Whether you're black, purple, yellow or white, even support the creation of free Palestine, I say. Peacoat, cut it, run it, done it, go. Good or bad, it's hard to tell. Going fast for Israel. Bibi is bad. Yeah. Wish he was gone so peace could be had. But this is a war. Yeah. So I support him like he was my dad. Or maybe me nan. I love me nan. I am against the occupied land, but I trust the plan. So I'ma defend it as long as I can. These Arabs are racist. It's not a wall, it's a quarantine. Shit is contagious. It's not a genocide, it's a vaccine, it's containment, yeah? Some people think shooting fish in a barrel is courageous. Don't care what the ICJ says. Palestinians is problematic, which means they need to die. Everyone knows. It's complicated. I believe in peace, I believe in love, inequality. I believe in all that liberal stuff, which is why Palestinians should be exterminated. Oopsie daisy. More than two things can be true. Arabs like matter a lot less than Jews. Borat was not as good as Borat.